If you've seen any of my channel, you've heard me talk about getting your home prepared to sell. And sometimes that might be in a few weeks, and sometimes that might be in a few months. Ideally, 6 to 12 months is the best time. But maybe you're curious about what it looks like when an agent comes to your house and talks you through selling your home, or what the steps are. Well, that's what today is about. I'm here to help you with the sale of your house, simplifying the process, and just building knowledge along the way so you don't come to that point and wonder, I wonder what's next. Hi, I'm Laurie Brooks. If we haven't met yet, I am with the Brooks Real Estate Group, a local realtor here in Boerne, Texas. I am passionate about helping people understand the real estate market, navigating in Boerne, and just answering any questions you may have. So today we're talking about selling your house. Maybe it's the first time you sold your house, or you haven't sold your house in a long time and you have questions. Well, I'm here to walk you along what the steps look like when you have an agent come alongside you to help you with the process. Our goal is to make it not overwhelming and just to get you as much information as you can have so it is an easier process for you along the way. Buying and selling houses are a huge process, but that's what we're here for, to help you make it much simpler and hopefully stress-free for you. Step one is meeting your agent. So I would come to your house, talk about your timeline, your goals, what it is that you are trying to achieve. Sometimes you're moving up, sometimes you're moving down, like right sizing is what I like to call it. The process is different for each individual. So that's why I like to talk alongside what your goals are. Sometimes we're buying another house and you have to wait, whether it's a new build or maybe you're in a process and you know what you want and we need to be quick. All of those are factors as we discuss the timelines and what the next steps are. Okay, after meeting your agent, we will prepare your listing. So if you're ready to sell your house and we need to move quickly, the same time I meet you, I will give you a guide. This is the one that I currently have. It's a home selling guide. So you don't have to remember everything that I'm telling you, but it does walk you through the process as well. But my goal is to walk through your house and tell you what steps need to be taken to make your house the most ready for potential buyers to want to buy your house. So I am going to customize our to-do list based on our timeline. But if I'm at your house for the first time, preparing your listing, what that looks like, I will walk through from the front of the house to the back of the house, the entire house. I will make suggestions along the way on what would be beneficial for you to prepare your house to get it ready for potential buyers. Usually, number one for me is decluttering. There are certain things that help the ROI. Sometimes that's replacing carpet, sometimes that's painting the wall. So there's little things that you can do that really make your house stand out even more. But what my ultimate goal is to really look from the eyes of the buyer and how can we prioritize the to-do list to make it the most beneficial for you for potential buyers that are coming through in this current market. Okay, after I give you a list to prepare your house, it's really up to you and your timeline when we take our next step, which is pictures. We really want to market your property well. That's very important to me. So I hire a professional photographer. So maybe it takes you a week, maybe it takes you 6 months to get your house ready, but I really want it to be in the best shape possible when the photographer comes in. If you don't have great pictures, then people are not going to come in and look at your house. The first step to get people in the door is your photographs. This is really the step that gets people from the outside, especially if they don't have an agent looking for them. This is where you think about Zillow, Realtor, all of those online searches. The first thing people look at are pictures. So it's a really important step to me. Along with photography is also videography. So on my team, we have 2 professional videographers. And so we also do video of your home. I walk through the home. We post that on social media, YouTube and Instagram, Facebook. Today's world lives on the internet and a lot of research begins on the internet. So we think that social media presence and videography is a very important step in your listing process. And so that's important to our brokerage and that's why we do it. All of these things go out and we also post to MLS. That is the search engine that realtors use. When I am working with you, I like to do an open house that same weekend. I'm also able to get information for you on how your house shows, how it's priced. It's a very important step for me. I love open houses, not Not everybody does, but that is a big part of my business plan for you. So after we list your house, we also will put a sign in the yard and a lockbox on the front door. This allows other realtors access to your property. So once it goes live, realtors can schedule to show your home. It does have to be a realtor that does that. If there's people that want to see your house that don't have a realtor, I can open the house for them, but it wouldn't be just random people coming in your house. After showings, we are anxiously awaiting an offer. So when offers come in, there are a couple options. I like to present it to you via email. I'll also send you the offer, but I like to break it down to make it simplified. I also like to give you a net sheet so you know what you're netting. It's pretty accurate. It calculates in the proration of the taxes and the HOA dues. All of those things are factors that are part of the contract. You can see that in my contract series, but this part right now is agreeing upon terms. Typically, if you get an offer, typically, not always, but typically the first offer is usually the best offer. But there's 3 options you have during the offer period. You can accept it, you can reject it, or you can counter. Most often I see counters, but sometimes if it's so far away, it is complete rejection. But most often it's counters, and we could counter on closing date, we can counter on the sales price, concessions. There's lots of things to counter, but really my goal in the end is to talk to the other agent and to have a win-win. Now, I have also seen multiple offer situations. So when we have multiple offer situations, I will go back to anyone that maybe is thinking about putting an offer, making sure that they know what's going on. This is usually not something that we counter back. This is one where they're giving their best and we pick between them, but I will lay that all out for you. Then we have inspection. Usually during the offer period, there is a 7 to 10 day option period. What that is the buyers have the opportunity to walk away from the home for whatever reason. So I like to have that as short as possible. I would push for 5, but often that's not accepted. So 7 is pretty normal. That's when the inspection is done. We renegotiate after inspections. That's also when they really have the opportunity to walk away. I try my very best to stay in contract and work together to find a win-win, again, for us and the buyers. Okay, after we go through inspection and we go through option period, the other couple things that we are waiting on is the appraisal. Sometimes they'll waive the appraisal. I will present data to the appraiser so that they have an understanding of why we priced the house the way that we did. We will also order HOA documents if you're an HOA. That is a cost for you. The resale certificate makes sure that you've paid all your bills. It gives them all of the CC&Rs, nothing that you have to worry about, but it is a cost that you pay before closing. Okay, and then finally closing week. It's a big week. 3 days before closing, we get the clear to close. The closing documents have to be done before 3 days. Sometimes that delays closing. If the lender's not on his game, we try our best to keep on him. Also, during the last week of closing, the buyers will do a walkthrough, and they just want to make sure that nothing was damaged between the time that they went to it and now. And so they're just doing their due diligence. On my side, on the buyer side, I always do this. And then finally, it's closing day. So closing day, such a fun day. I will give you the title information. Title will deliver the keys after it's funded. So lending has to go through before we'll give keys over. But that's the final thing that you're waiting for. Closed and funded is what we say. And then congratulations, you sold your house. Hopefully we're on to the next house. Hopefully that was a stepping process to the next house. Now, sometimes you need a few days. This is what I was talking about earlier. I will negotiate a lease back for you if you need the funds from the sale of your house in order to buy your new house. And we can do a lease back. We can time that closing so that you can use those funds to go to your next house if you're moving up. I hope this series was helpful. If you have questions, please drop me a comment or call me, text me. Let me know if I didn't answer any questions or there's some things that are undone that you didn't understand or that you need more information. I'd love to help. I'd love to help answer any questions that you might have. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. Instagram is where you find out more behind the scenes of me, my family, life in Boerne, and just get a little bit more insight into who Laurie Brooks is. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.